smell that? Poop mouth. Smell like somebody talking some shit. You smell that? Poop mouth. Smell like somebody talking some shit. You smell that? Poop mouth. Smell like somebody talking some shit.
Hey, what's going on? This is the second episode of Poop Mouth
Radio, where we talk nothing but shit.
All right, so we're just opening up a little bit today. I found out something very interesting about our friend Theo.
Lies.
That's not lies, man.
You tell.
What did you tell me when you walked
I
in
ain't
here?
tell you nothing.
I found that I have a fellow brother.
Yeah, I'm a brother for sure. You got that right.
But, I'm French Canadian, and then this guy walks in and he says, "What'd you say, man?"
I ain't say nothing.
What'd you say?
I said...
You don't want to admit it?
Admit what?
You did a DNA test and you found out that you were what?
No, the DNA test ain't tell me I was Canadian. I found out that my dad's great-grandfather is from Canada, okay?
So I knew that's why we were friends, man. Come on.
I'm not from Canada,
You got a
bro.
fellow Canuck over
I'm
here.
straight American, born and raised. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm from the red, white, and blue.
I knew that's why I like you, though.
I eat real bacon, son. No ham, just real bacon.
Real bacon?
Real bacon.
No Canadian bacon?
Nah, I don't do none of that stuff. No none of that. I don't like maple leaves, okay? I like the fall. That's it. But I don't like, nah.
All right, so I think today we're going to take the direction a little bit into the archery community, and we kind of wanted to talk about how the business has been going with archery in general and technology, and how it progresses. I think that a lot of people, they tend to have an expectation of what every year a bow company is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And, everybody, 2020 is coming out. What's the latest and greatest? What are we going to see? And I think that a lot of people tend to have some unrealistic expectations of what those companies can do in a year's span.
That's true, yeah.
I
mean, it's also coming from a lot of people who don't know anything about the engineering side of things. Like, it's easy to draw a picture, but to make it happen is totally different,
Oh yeah, there's a lot of man hours involved in trying to perfect something, and you can come up with a really good cam design and then find out that it shreds the cables a little bit, and you kind of have to go back to the drawing board because of the way that it was working.
And some cam systems that you come up with might not work out with what you're using. Like, for instance, Rex Darlington. Mm-hmm. He creates 70-80% of the industry.
A lot of the archery industry kind of owes Rex a lot of their.
Around here, not a lot of people shoot darting though. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of bows that people shoot have darting technology and don't even know it.
That's true. I mean, we carried darting for a little bit, and it's not a name that a lot of people tend to, mutter out. The first thing they come in, they go, "Oh, I want a darting." Usually you see a lot of the older guys come in and they remember it. But a lot of the new shooters, a lot of the younger community shooters, they don't really tend to, in this area anyways, this demographic area.
The younger shooters are more pulled to advertisement.
Yeah.
And that's, you put up a good video with a drone flying, killing a big elk or a nice whitetail, or shooting really far or winning some tournaments. I mean, that's how you grab the people, but that's advertisement. Mm-hmm.
I mean, year by year, we kind of noticed the speed game. You started seeing every bow company every year trying to up the speed. It got to that 350. There was a couple bows on the market that went a little bit. Yeah, I know.
PSC Expedite, I think it was.
Yeah, so there was some bows that were getting up there, but then the majority of them were staying between that 350, 360.
Shoot, I've heard they got bows that can shoot 400, but they say it ain't ready for the market. Like, people ain't ready for it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, who really needs to go that fast?
Well, I mean, you could say that about bows back in, mid-1990s where they were getting much less speed and they were using overdraw systems. And, at that time, the technology was progressing for them. And now to see beyond parallel limb systems and cams that, are very, very efficient, it's crazy to think of what they've come up with over the years.
True.
So one can say that looking forward to the future, what are we going to be seeing? Are we going to be seeing bows that are going up into those 400s?
True. I kind of think for bows, I think the next big thing will be material, not even new tech, but new
Yep.
material. Like, they did wood, then they had, what was it, magnesium.
Yep. So yeah, we started.
Now we got aluminum and carbon.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say they won't make a titanium bow? I don't know. Like, there's always, they can make what was it, like a composite.
Well, I mean, composites are kind of here as it is. We have, carbon bows,
Yeah.
and that's technically a composite. Whether or not that's going to be the wave of the future with a stronger form of carbon, something that can handle the speeds that it's because what happens is the more speed you get, the more the bow flexes, more vibe into the shot, and all these things, they can make or break a bow for somebody,
or make or break a person. I mean, a bow shoots fast. It all depends on the shooter. You can shoot fast and miss fast. You can shoot slow and miss slow. So, I mean, for me, speed has always been, I always saw speed as power, as in, like, the faster it can throw something lighter, it probably can throw something heavier a lot faster. Well, faster too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like taking a Corvette and putting it in the truck. In the truck, it's not gonna go fast, but it's gonna have a lot of torque and power. Like, I like shooting a little bit heavy arrows because I like to smash stuff, make it go. I like 2 holes, not 1.
Yep.
But
Well, I mean, it helps in 2 different ways. I mean, if you're a 3D archer,
True.
having more speed is gonna help you with that guessing game. If you guess the wrong yardage and you have the speed to make up for that, you're not gonna miss your target. You're gonna be within that area.
unless you guess too much,
I guess too much. Yeah,
then you're over.
it'll be a flatter plane in general.
But yeah, you got the arrow weight game for that.
Exactly.
Like,
you can play that game too.
You could rely on the arrow weight game and the poundage and whatnot. Like, I think the next big thing should be arrows. Like, we did the wave of ranging sights.
Yep.
It didn't work out too good. Okay.
No, that I think
Software's freezing.
last year, the year before that, when all those Garmin sites came out,
the IQ
the
ones.
IQ site, and everybody was really into them.
And then the ones that didn't come, like, we saw one guy had like a cardboard box. You pressed the button and it moved. That was crazy.
I forget the name of that company, but that was it was a prototype of
It's a
some
good
sort.
thing you forgot it.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But like, for example, our friend at Total Archery, he had.
Oh yeah! Shout out to Mike.
don't
I'm
wanna
putting
say
him out there.
names,
I'm
Mike.
saying his name, Mike.
But yeah, he got pretty frustrated up on the mountain because
Froze.
those sites, they don't work in the fog, man.
And it froze on. It came down by the HHA.
Yeah.
He got Tetra. I'm just throwing that out there. HHA, holla. Nothing but kingpins over here.
Yep. But I mean, getting back to technology, so you're saying you think arrows should be the next wave. What do you think? What would they possibly do to make arrows?
Material.
I mean, we went from aluminums to carbons.
Well, we went from wood.
Yeah.
Then to
Well, I'm saying in
aluminum.
most compounds, you
Yeah.
had the big thing was aluminums.
Well, right now you see that they're integrating carbon with the aluminum, and then like Victory. Is it Victory? I think it's Victory. They got the carbon with a steel wrap around it. I mean, what's next? Like I said, it could be titanium. It could be, I don't know, plastic or something. Like, the next thing should be the projectile.
yeah, I mean,
It's
if
easier
they could
to
make something that's strong enough, that's light enough, that would be the thing. The only way you're going to gain the speeds is to get something that's going to be able to withstand that flex
True.
with the reduction in weight.
But then it all comes down to number one thing: money.
True.
Just like with bows, new bows, like the price of a flagship bow is minimum of $1,000 and up. Before, years ago, 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago, a flagship bow was like $500, $700.
It definitely. I mean, we can attribute that to everything, though. I mean, it's not necessarily the archery community. Everything's inflated over the years.
True, but I don't want to say it because I don't want people to be mad about it. But like, at the end of the day, archery in today's society is a hobby. All right.
Yeah.
You have bow hunting. Most people who bow hunt, not the Northeast, because Northeast, because its land is tight, we big on bow hunting, even out west too. But there's a lot of guys who only bow hunt to extend their season, you know. But we got a lot of guys up here who bow hunt straight through the season. Like that's all they do. They don't rifle, they don't muzzle load, shotgun, whatever. They just bow hunt. People like that, they don't just buy bows every year. $1,000, not a lot of people can throw that around every year to get something new, especially when the bows are lasting. Like, you know, I personally could shoot my bow for the next 10 years and it'd be fine. I just like new stuff.
I mean, I went through that phase of buying a new bow.
I'm still
yearly.
in that phase.
Yes, we know. Anybody who knows you knows that you're in that phase.
I'm never going to leave that phase.
But I was buying them every year. Yeah. And, you know, for one, it's for resale value. If you buy a new bow every year, you get rid of your old one. You don't really lose out that bad. But if you wait like a year or two in between, your investment into that particular bow becomes so low at the point where it's like, well, I'll just keep the bow at that.
I think it's a given if you know archery and you're in the community or whatever, you already know like you're not gonna get what you pay for, or most of the time not close to it, unless it's early in that year. So, I mean, you should just, I wouldn't say take that loss, but it is what it is.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, when I purchase bows, a lot of times, what I found for me was happening was, I'd get a new bow, and then you have that set-in period where you kind of, you have to learn the quirks of it. You know, the grip might be different. It just doesn't mesh well with you, or it does. The cycle, the valley, all these things tend to have a little bit of a, it's unfamiliar, and you got to learn the quirks of it. And if you buy a bow yearly, you don't really give yourself a chance to really feel out that bow and learn the actual quirks of it. I mean, It doesn't take long to figure it out, but you're also changing all the time. And I think people look towards gear to make them better.
True.
And I see it working in a shop all the time is you have people, they buy a new sight, and it's, you know, it's a placebo effect. You get this new sight, it shoots amazing to them. They're like, dude, this thing is awesome. I need to work with this for a little bit. And then 2 days later, they buy a new release.
Then everything changes.
And it keeps getting into this, you know, gas effect, as they call it, you know, gear accusation. What does they call it? Gear something syndrome. Yeah. So, you know, these people, they keep looking towards gear to help them shoot better. But in all actuality, it's practice and just working on form.
True.
And making sure that you're doing the right things. Tried and true. You can shoot with the oldest bow on the market, with the shittiest sight, and still shoot well.
Yeah.
It just comes down to practice and form.
That too, you know. I mean, that's why I always see, for me, archery is always personal. Like, people are like, well, what do you think? I don't really, what do I think? I think it's great. Why do you think it's great? Because that's what I think. That what works for me might not work for you. What works for you probably won't work for me. But what will work for both of us is if we practice. Like when I started, I was trash. I ain't gonna front. I couldn't hit nothing, man. I thought hitting a pie plate at 20 was a group. Like, yeah, you know, and then.
But honestly, everybody is at that point. You know, when you first start, you don't know. And you know, being in the industry as long as I have now, and people that I know around me that have been in the industry far longer, we all start somewhere. And
I started way out.
I started bad. I mean,
it was
my first bow was trash, man, and I thought I knew what I was doing, and I didn't. Everybody has that point where they don't know.
Bro,
and until you get the right guidance or the right information, it takes time.
It takes a ton of time. And like, nothing against some of them big name guys, big name shooters, but like, listen, people, you cannot go watch a video and do exactly what they do, because you are not them. You can take bits and pieces, but you are not them. I mean, I'm not going to throw out a name, but like some of these dudes are like 6'5", 32 inch draw. Again, he's getting 280 feet per second out of a 792 grain arrow. Yeah, he's Bigfoot. You're 5'3", bro, with a 25 inch draw, trying to shoot 60 pounds. It's not going to work for you. You know what I mean? Yes, they give good guidelines, but you got to take everything with a grain of salt and then try to work it into you, because everybody's form is different. I mean, you have a general way how you want for them to look, but it can't always work. Some people got injuries. Some people's bodies just don't turn that way. As long as you hitting the target repeatedly where you pointing at and aiming and it's hitting, to me, it's good.
It comes down to, can you repeat the same action over and over again and be comfortable with it?
I mean, I repeated sucking for a long time, so I guess I was good. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, getting back to the whole thing with how's the bows going to be getting better? You know, get back on track for that. I mean, we saw older bows; they had much smaller cams. New cams now are much larger.
A lot more energy in them.
Yeah. It's just crazy to think, like, what's next? You know what I mean? If it is going to be next, or is it even realistic to think, like, should I be always looking for this?
I mean, you should always look and hope to see if something can get better, because that means things are evolving.
Of course.
You know, evolution. Obsession bows. Ha, that's my people's. Anyways, but like, I mean, for me, the next big thing I'm hoping for technology as they're pushing is just making stuff more efficient. You know, this year you see they brought down the speeds of pretty much almost every brand.
I was gonna touch base on that too. I mean, I'm kind of glad to see that the overall speeds of the bows, though they seem lower, they actually seem to be hitting IBO better.
Yeah.
And I personally think that the industry should change the way that they do their feet per second measurements and stuff like that. Instead of IBO, do something more realistic. I mean, the average.
Back to the old, what was it called before?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
What is it called? I forget what it was, but it was like 9 grains per inch type arrow.
Well, you think the average guy is going to have anywhere between a 28-inch to 29-inch draw length on average. Most guys would be between that 1670, at probably anywhere between a 7.4 to a 9.3 grain per inch arrow. So if you did all those specs in the middle of that spectrum, you know, like, let's say a 29-inch draw with a 65-pound draw at, this, at least people would get a better idea of what they're going to fall on the spectrum. And I mean, it kind of gives, we did our video with the obsessions, where we got real world speeds, where you're kind of using a few different arrow types at different grain weights and kind of get an idea of what they're going to be at. Granted, the draw length is going to be,
different.
It's going to be different than whatever that person gets, but you're going to have a general idea.
I mean, I like this year alone, before we ain't at the ATA yet, but just from the videos I've seen and the bows I've had and dealt with, to see bows hitting IBO, exceeding IBO, or hitting 2 to 5 feet per second within is showing me that, I'm getting the efficiency out of the cam. Like, I'm getting everything out of the bow, and it's going to be great. And I like that they took the curve from speed to, like, tunability. Being able to tinker with your bow without a press.
Yeah. Which one are you talking about? The,
you
the
have
Bowtech?
You have the Bowtech, which you no longer need the shim 3-track system. Then you have the Elite, you got the limbs. I believe that they can shift the cam or whatnot, and they all got all kind of settings from let off to modules for the draw. You got the Matthews with the different modules. You switch it out. You change the draw weight.
I mean, that's
pretty cool.
That there's definitely some cool things that they've come out with in the last this year, especially. Like you said on the Matthews, being able to change your peak draw weight with just a mod or a piece that comes off the cam versus having to get a whole new limb set. That's a really cool.
Plus.
That's a really cool feature.
You can make that one bow your Africa bow, your North American bow, your 3D bow, and just like 3 mods.
Yeah, and with the Bowtech Revolt, that's the ability to be able to tune your bow without putting it in a press. Yoke tuning is really nice, and it's extremely helpful. If you've got your center shot true and you take a shot through paper and you need to make a small adjustment, that's really easy. However, if you have something that's going to be giving you some issues running back to the press, or if you don't have a press,
right,
that can make things a little difficult. But if we have this new system now, you can it's on
the go.
It's a lock screw with an Allen key. You simply just shift that cam left and right. Now I haven't had a chance to play with it to the point where I I've tried to see how far that can go. If somebody could mess it up,
Right.
that bad to the point where they can injure themselves if it derailed. I'm sure that their
They probably
engineers kind of thought about it.
So how
with
far
this-
it can go.
Yeah, I'm sure that they didn't make it so you can shift it enough where it's going to be a problem. But who knows? I do think that is a really cool system, though.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is just awesome. Being able to tweak with your bow, fix stuff in the field, whether you're on a 3D course or hunting, or really get into your, personal tuning of your setup. You saw me last year. I went nuts trying to get my stuff set up perfect. I wanted bare shaft, everything. I was bare shafting out to 30 and 40 yards, which is bananas for no reason. 20 yards is just as good, but I like taking that extra step. But that's on form too. Like
What when we went to the ATA show a few years back, what bow was it that they had? I think it was an APA. Was it APA? Where they had a system that you can bring the bow completely down, and you can actually take your strings off without needing a press. I
was that APA?
It might have been an APA.
Oh no, it was another one called what was it? It's a smaller brand.
Yeah,
Tribal.
it might have been Tribe.
Tribe. That's what it's called.
Yeah, it might have been Tribe. But that would be I'd like to see that in a few other bow companies where you can, like, say if you're in the field and something happened and you have a spare set with you. Granted, it's not ideal.
Yeah, that's gonna take too long.
No, for somebody like me where I know what I'm doing though,
Yeah, but that's a full tune, bro.
not necessarily. If you need to get back in action for a quick thing, just
Swap
throw
out
something
limbs.
on.
No, this is what you do. You buy another bow.
Wow.
Or you just have 2 bows, or 3, or 4.
Well, I've learned my lesson.
Like me.
I have my spare bow. I learned my lesson from
See,
that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just have more than one bow.
Yeah.
Have a backup at all times.
I mean, it's, in my opinion, if you're traveling, having a spare bow
Is key.
is necessary.
And this is what I do. When I bring 2 bows, I set up that bow to shoot the same arrow. Okay, I'm not doing swapping arrows. I'm going to use the same arrow. I could just pull my quiver off, put it on there, and we going, and it's going to do what it's going to do.
Never again am I going to go out of state or
2 hours plus
2 hours,
away.
3 hours away without a secondary bow, because stuff happens. And when you're out in the field,
Yeah, rocks move on the ground, I think. Or
it wasn't
people
my
just-
fault, man.
Oh yeah, that rock just jumped out. yeah. That was
Well,
definitely all you.
But I mean, we didn't go to ATA last year.
We
We
did
are going.
this year,
we are
though.
going this year.
So y'all link up with us because we're going to have some fun.
Yeah. So I mean, how many years in a row did you go?
2.
So you went 2 years in a row.
Yep,
and
17, 18.
I've been going probably the last, I think, five or six with her. Shout out to Jill.
Joe. Queen Bee.
Yeah. And I think when the first time you go, first year,
I was crazy.
you're a kid in Candyland, man. You
I
see
wanted everything.
everything. But then as you go multiple years, you start to see the same stuff and things don't excite you as much because, you're like, okay, well, what's new? What's different? Whether that be, and that's how we kind of saw that whole thing with range finding sites. And that was really the buzz of what was coming on.
That was big.
What do you think this year? What do you think we're going to kind of encounter this year? What do you think the next buzz is going to be for, like, doesn't have to be bows, it could be just accessories.
More than likely probably won't be bows. I mean, there's going to be, bow companies are going to drop out sneak peeks of probably new bows that they didn't push out. I think the broadheads this year are going to be the one to take up. There's going to be a lot of hybrids. A lot of hybrids.
And what makes you say that?
Because a lot of states on the West, you can't use mechanicals. And that's lost money.
Mm-hmm.
So the fixed heads came up big time last year. Like, there was this new one called Annihilator Broadheads. Beautiful. I love it. I shot it out to 85, straight out the pack, hit field point. I was like, crazy. Then you got Zeus. Zeus came out. They're like a hybrid. Tough as nails. The thing flies like a field point. They hit. They crush bone. Like, I think the next broadheads are all going to be like that. I think Muzzy just dropped another hybrid I saw online. I think Rage came out with one a few years ago. Ramcat's probably coming out with one. I think they are. I seen it in the book, matter of fact. They are coming out with one.
So for the people that don't know, essentially the hybrids, they will be legal for somebody that,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So at that point,
More than
it
likely.
open-
Don't quote me on it,
yeah,
but it has.
It depends on the state that you're in. They may have.
They'll
some
have a
legalities.
fixed. They'll have a fixed blade.
Yeah.
That's always there, which is the most. I think it's like most of them are the state's minimum, and then you have the 2 blades that come out. So I believe, long as you got the 2 fixed blades,
Yep, with the minimum cutting.
diameter, you're good. It covers you for, your having your cut size and having a fixed blade. But
Because I think what
hybrids,
is it Oregon? They can't.
a lot of them, Oregon,
I think Oregon you can't use a
I
fixed
think
blade.
Idaho. I forget. A lot of those Western states you can't use mechanicals. Which, I mean, I got nothing against mechanicals. I think there's a broadhead for every situation. I
Yeah.
mean, if I'm going on something big like a moose, a grizzly, a giraffe, I'm going to use the fixed blade. Just because less
what was
moving
what
parts.
was the broadhead you used on that giraffe
A
again?
Musaka.
Musaka.
Yeah, made in New York.
And was that the 3-blade or the 4-blade version?
That was a 4-blade. I had to shoot twice. So the first one was a 4-blade, and the last one was a 3-blade. Went straight. It went deep. It did its job. Dropped it. But yeah, on big animals, I'm taking no chances of something happening. I mean, mechanical things do break, but my bow's mechanical, so I took that chance. But I went with the fixed head for that. If I had a hybrid, I would definitely shoot like a Zeus at it, no problem. I'd shoot a Muzzy hybrid. I'd shoot the new Ramcat hybrid.
Yeah.
I was Ramcat before. I've annihilated a lot of stuff with a Ramcat, but it's also putting it in the right spot. You know what I mean? You put shot placement is key. But things happen. Animals move. You sneeze. Your form could be trashed that day. It is what it is.
So as far as technology is concerned, I think I know what you're secretly wanting for a bow.
What do I want?
What
What do I want?
What do you want?
I don't know.
Heated grips.
Yes. Heated grips. Actually, there's a company that came out with some heated grips.
Did they?
Yeah, I saw it on Archery Talk. The dude, I forget his name, but he has something. But it was for like, I think they only make for like 2 bows at the moment, like a Matthews, and I think the other one might be a Hoyt.
What is it? It's a battery operated system.
Yeah, so it clips on just like you take your old grips off, put it on, and then there's a wire, and you can use any portable battery that you choose. Usually get like 1,000 what is it, MA?
Yep.
And he had his like electric tape to the riser, which that wouldn't bother me if I'm hunting in the cold. I'm good. It don't matter as long as it's working. And his hand was pretty warm. He said it warmed up the front a little bit, but straight in the back is perfect. Done deal.
I know you said numerous times you wanted some heated grips.
Yeah, that would be great for 3D season coming up, especially our local Tri-County. It starts January 5th. It's going to be cold.
We're gonna be out there.
We sure are.
Definitely be out there,
I'm
man.
itching to shoot.
I know last year they canceled a lot of them though because of the snow.
Yeah, we had like crazy snowstorms.
I mean, it's a liability on their part if they have to make that judgment call if they feel like somebody might hurt
and
themselves.
then people, you gotta remember the clubs. This is all volunteer. You know what I mean? You got people in the clubs putting up these targets. Who wants to be putting up targets in like 5 feet of snow?
Exactly.
And making trails and then you
for
do all of
for
that.
like the 6 guys like us that want to go out. I
Hey,
mean, there's quite a few that will go out there.
Well, that year when there was all the snowstorms, I think it was I think that was Rentham. Which one's close? Walpole off the highway, or was it Rentham?
Rentham's a little closer, I think.
Off the highway, as soon as
Yeah.
so then it was Walpole. And that was when I fell down the hill. I slid down, but I had my bow up in the air.
Yep.
Yeah, they put it on, and then we had that crazy, what was it, like a ice storm or hail. It was raining, it was freezing, and we went to Wankiko.
Yep.
Shout out to Joe. He set that up. There was like, I think 10 people came.
That was
shoot.
that was the day that we got soaked.
So we was freezing too.
Yeah, it was fun, and it would have been a lot better if it wasn't raining, man. But
Well, remember the
it was
first
like that freezing
first
rain.
4 shots. I was off, like everything. I was freaking out. I was like, how did I miss? But you were on, and then the second half, I was on, and you was off.
I think I had to pep talk you.
I
Because
was
you were
done.
you were ready to. I think you had a newer bow.
What bow did I
That's
have?
yeah. It figures you got a new bow. Like you have a new bow every freaking 3 days.
Every month.
But you had a brand new bow, and you were like, "I'm gonna shoot this one today." I'm like, "You sure?" And I think we were like 2 targets in, and you already busted like 2 arrows at that
Hit
point.
the tree on one, and the other one was that 80-something yard shot.
Yeah, because Joe puts on a good shoot. He did the
hero shots. Yeah,
and whoever knows us knows that we really dig the long distance shots, man. So I'm freezing my ass off. You're frustrated, and you're like, I'm about to leave.
I'm about to leave.
I'm like,
the
bro,
truck was right there.
Don't leave, man. Just I said, go get your other bow, relax, breathe. Here I am. I'm like shivering, pink as can be, man. You know,
that's when I had more weight on me because that's when I had that installation.
Yep.
But then our socks was all, my feet was wet. Oh, it was bad, bro.
That was a fun shoot though.
No, the funniest part of that shoot was that 75-yard shot.
That was not funny.
And you hit the tree that was like 20 yards down.
No, to clarify here, I thought I had a clear shot, but there was a branch that was probably about like 7, maybe 6 feet.
Yeah, up.
Yeah. And I guess my bow is a little slower than Theo's.
A lot slower.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
It was a lot slower.
So I had to aim a little higher, of course, for my trajectory on my arrow, and he was able to get just by it. Just by it. Just squeak by it.
Just like, all you heard was sweet sound of foam.
I remember hearing the smack on the branch, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? And you're like, bro, the tree.
You're like, what tree? What tree? I was like, right there. He was like, what? How was I supposed to see that? I don't know.
It was definitely an afterthought. Didn't think that was going to be a problem.
That was hilarious.
But that's 3D, man. That's what I love about 3D.
Yeah.
Is we have a good time, even though we were miserable getting soaked. Shit, man, when we came back for breakfast,
breakfast was good.
Joe hooked us up with that huge ass breakfast.
That breakfast with the bacon, some pancakes. I had scrambled with the cheese inside. My man had orange juice and coffee. Come on,
dude.
now.
After the fact, when we got up to go put our plates in the trash, there was literally like a puddle as wide as like the table,
just from us,
just from our jackets just being soaked.
We was done.
That was funny, man.
I always go to his shoots.
Yep,
because he put it on. He was out there. He's a soldier.
Yeah, that was a fun shoot.
That was a good shoot.
But other than that, man, you excited for ATA?
Yeah, I'm ready to see some of the faces I ain't seen in a while. See my family, my OB family. Go see my Black Eagle family. Go see my Stan family.
Yep.
Like my little shout outs right there. You see what I did?
Yeah. You got your fan club.
You know what I'm saying? Those are my people. Fan club, that's my
family. Got your
fan
club, man.
That's my family. Stan, releases. Get them. That's my peoples. OB. Black Eagle, we let it fly, baby.
There you go.
Go see some people. Go talk to, I got to talk to, what's his name? Shockey. Yep. I go see my man Levi. He out here dropping giant.
He ain't gonna recognize you, man.
Man, he recognized me.
He ain't gonna recognize
every time
you.
I was there. He was like, "What's up, Theo?"
Yeah, that was before. Now you're gonna be a twig, man.
He gonna remember.
You're gonna walk by and be like, "What's up?"
Listen, I am one of 2 black dudes at the show. I stick out harder, easier than a hockey puck on a.
Well, I did think it was funny, man. Every time you saw another guy, you do the nod.
Did the nod.
I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, watch this.
Watch this. This is what we saying. You made it, my brother.
I mean, I can kind of relate, man. Anytime I'm there, I'm the only metal guy there. It's all country bumpkin people, man.
Yeah.
So if I see like a fellow dude,
but man, they know how to party though.
What's that?
They know how to party though.
Oh no, they're awesome people, man.
You gotta see your man K-Thumb too.
What's that?
See your man K-Thumb.
Oh, that's your man.
That's my homie right there.
He loves you, man.
That's my man.
He's like, y'all check out K-Thumb.
Go check out K-Thumb.
That's Johnny's boy right there.
That's Johnny's boy. We gonna help, man. We got the whole crew.
We do have a big crew this year coming with us.
We gonna be bugging.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Jill gotta get bail money. That's crazy.
I think Hughes has a surprise for Johnny. So
nah, stop. My side. Nah.
So if you listen, Johnny, Hughes has a little surprise for you. Later on.
I ain't got nothing to do with this, Johnny. Nah, thanks.
We're gonna have a good time. We're definitely gonna be checking out all the new gear and hopefully reporting back to you guys about some of the things that we saw.
Yep.
I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. And till you catch another one, this was
Poop Mouth Radio, where we talk nothing but shit.
All right, you guys, take care.
Get with us.
You smell that? Poop mouth. Smell like somebody talking some shit. Smell that? Poop mouth. Smell like somebody's talking some shit.